Hi there, my name is Janet Gershon-Siegel and I'm the Lonely Writer. This is serious social media help for the independent author. That's a writer who does not yet have an agent. This is my capstone project for my master's degree from Quinnipiac University. Today I'm going to be talking about why you can't charge for fan fiction. This is also known as a crash course in copyright. Now, I like fan fiction, actually, but I implore you never even try to charge for it. And the reason why is because it's intellectual property. Intellectual property is just as real and has as many rights, if not possibly more, than the tangible property that you own, such as your car, your clothes. Now, your work product, when that includes your notes, your background information, your character studies, etc., that's all intellectual property, and you've got rights in your own work. So you probably wouldn't want somebody else just taking it, using it without permission, particularly if they made some money off it. So put yourself in the other author's shoes, and I think you'll see why this is a problem. Now, in the United States, a copyright violation, which is also known as infringement, that occurs when you take someone else's work and then you copy it to use for your own ends. Now, ideas in and of themselves are not considered to be copyrightable. What that means is that the idea of people flying around in a spaceship is not copyrightable because we see it in lots of places. We see it in Firefly and in Battlestar Galactica and Star Trek, and etc. But when you start writing about Martians and they've got tall helmets and they've got exposed brains and they yell "ack ack" and they just vaporize everything in sight, then you've got Mars Attacks on your hands and you're suddenly in infringement land, right? Now, fan fiction in particular has a very good place in writing. It can help you keep going because one of the ways to keep writer's block at bay is to just keep writing, no matter what you're writing. So there's nothing wrong with using fan fiction to do that. And there are lots of these not-for-profit sites out there where you can post it, including fanfiction.net. But do be aware that there are authors who won't even allow this, such as Anne Rice. So please respect the author's wishes and don't post your work online if the author doesn't want you to. Now, a little bit more about fan fiction. It is useful in terms of learning how a property was put together. So rather than writing fan service, how about pulling on some of those seams and trying to figure out what really works or doesn't work? You know, go with the stuff that was hand-waved. Like whenever they beam up in Star Trek and they rearrange molecules, do people actually die and get resurrected? When Leia and Luke kiss, how bad is that? I mean, was it something where the writers maybe weren't sure as to which direction they wanted the story to go in? How about the ending of Quantum Leap? Does that one still bother you? If you try addressing those issues, you're going to become a better writer because you're going to be working on the harder stuff. But the downside to fan fiction, of course, is that it can keep you from creating a world. You've got this ready-made world that comes fully assembled right out of the box, and that can stifle creativity. So why not try creating a world that fits in with your favorite IP, like someplace that Doctor Who could go to, right? The Doctor? And then try creating one maybe that doesn't work. And once you create one that doesn't work with the IP, guess what you've got? You've got a wholly original setting. Fan fiction also, another downside to it is that it can keep you from creating characters because they're out of the box too. Even a commercial property like Green Acres or the Brady Bunch, that stuff has characters with depth because there are character studies, and those were used in the writing room. That's how you write a character who's true to the original vision. But often these are characters who fit into tropes. I mean, when you think about Penny in The Big Bang Theory, in particular, at the beginning, she was considered to be just a dumb blonde, and Leonard was whiny, and Sheldon was a lot more rigid. But what if you instead swapped gender or details? Then you'd have some originality. And when you put these new characters, these remixed characters, into your original scene, suddenly it's not fan fiction anymore. I'm Janet Gershon-Siegel, the Lonely Writer, because an independent writer never has to be alone. So thanks so much for listening.